A review of the year for the Ferrari Driver Academy student Jules Bianchi. The Frenchman, who came second in the World Series, takes us through a season in which he was also the third driver with Scuderia Force India, for whom he will be on duty in Austin next weekend for the 19th round of the Formula One World Championship.
Coming to your 2012, you've been several times the third driver driving on Friday morning for Force India. How much important was this experience for your career?
I think it's been really important. I learned a lot. I drove a lot in the previous year in the young driver test in Abu Dhabi or Riyadh, but it's not the same as driving the race weekend because you have a lot more pressure and anyway you are in the race car, so it's different. But I think I grew up a lot and now I'm ready to drive in a real race.
While your racing 2012 was in World Series, you finished second fighting for the championship until the last race. Any regret?
Well, I think it's been yes, difficult because as you said I was fighting until the last race. Especially the really last race I was going to win, and I had an issue with the championship leader. So this is part of the joke, and now I'm just going ahead, thinking about next year, and that's it.
Just few weeks to Christmas time. What do you expect Santa Claus will bring to you?
Well, I hope I will have an official seat for next year for sure. This is my dream.
Do you think you deserve it?
I think I did a good season in World Series, finishing second, even if the target was to win. And I did a good season with Force India as well, so yes, I think I am now ready and I now deserve the seat in Formula One.
Being an official Formula One Ferrari driver is still your dream?
Yes, of course, it's my dream. I have been working a lot for that. Now I am a third driver of Force India as well, so I just try to become a race driver, and then my dream for sure will be to race with Ferrari one day.
One full day of testing at the simulator at the Austin racetrack. What is your feeling?
Well, let's say that the Austin racetrack is really interesting. You have a lot of quick corners, so the first part is really similar to the first part in Japan, and the Beckett's in Silverstone, so I think it's going to be really interesting in terms of driving. And then you have a lot of slow corners as well, so I think it's a really new. It's a new track which is really interesting. It was on one of the best tracks I have seen now.
All the Ferrari fans want to know only one thing. Will Ferrari be competitive there?
I think we are working really hard for that. We just try to improve the car for this race. It's really important for the rest of the championship, and I think we can be confident for this race as well.
In terms of overtaking, do you think they will be easy or difficult at Austin?
Anyways, in Formula One it's always difficult to overtake, but I think in Austin you have two big stops, and in between you have a long straight, so you can have some overtake, and I think it will be a lot of opportunities in the race to overtake people.
For a driver, how much important is to prepare a race on a completely new track at the simulator?
It's really important because when you arrive on Friday, you have to be on the limit immediately, otherwise you won't be as competitive as you wish in qualifying, so you really need to be ready when you arrive. That's why the simulator is one of the best option to learn the tracks and to be ready for the race.
After a 5 years break, Formula One returns to United States and the new circuit of the Americas in Austin, which was opened last October. The President Bobby Epstein talks us about the futuristic Texan track with the help of a lap on a simulator with Jules Bianchi.
So the 25-story tower far exceeded both our hope from a design standpoint of creating something unique and almost iconic, to creating something that's functional from a wayfinding standpoint, to a tourist experience, to the true fact that what it does is it lets you see a Formula One track like nowhere else in the world. You stand in one place, you can see the whole thing. From a driver's standpoint, Turn 1's going to be a heck of a, it's unique, it's challenging, the forces that you experience going up it versus down, and I really admire what they have to go through. Turn 15 might be the greatest seat in the world to watch Formula One race. I truly think it may be. Just for the fact that you have so many vantage points and so many different challenges that the driver faces. You see them going through hills in one direction, and then you catch them on the track coming back through their highest speed straight, where you'll see them at 220 miles an hour, and you see them hit a hairpin turn, and then you see them come through a chicane section where you'll see 10 turns in one seat, and it's where it's not just screaming fast action, it's also technical. The tower's really become an integral part, and when we are out here we realize it's such a focus. I think it's really exceeded our expectations. Originally it was to create something iconic that when you stood in front of it you identified yourself with where you were, and it's become really functional in a lot of ways. Certainly one is just the fact that it gives you a grounded feeling when you're here of a position. Where are you? So when you're on a massive site like this, the track itself is on 380 acres, it's 1,200 acres overall. It gives you a real sense of perspective of where you are. I think that what we've done outside the lines of the racetrack is combined to make one feature that I am absolutely most proud of, which is the experience when people come out and just see all there is to do and how we've made the most use of the land and the facilities and what they can experience over the 3 days. I'm really proud of that.
Built in less than 2 years in Travis County, near the Texas capital, Austin, the Circuit of the Americas passed its last inspection as fit to stage the United States Grand Prix back on September 25th. The track is over 5.5 kilometers long and runs anti-clockwise. It features over 20 corners and goes through a height change of 41 meters. Many of the turns take their inspiration from other tracks, such as Istanbul's Turn 8 and the Maggots Beckett Chapel complex from Silverstone. It took 1,300,000 hours to build, having been designed by German architect Hermann Thiel, who has previously designed 6 other modern facilities. This will be the 30th United States Grand Prix, the first after an absence of 5 years. Also will be the 8th track to host a USA Grand Prix, and the 10th in the United States to stage a Formula One race.
So here we are in Austin, the new track for Formula One. Coming through the first corner, the track is going uphill, so it's braking late, really late. Going down to second gear, then you're going out. You have a right corner which is flat out with DRS. Then you're going to a couple of corners were really exciting, left, right, left again, and then going down to fifth gear. Another quick corner on the left, going down to fourth gear now, then back to second gear. You accelerate, put DRS, going back to a really late and hard brake, going to the second gear. Now you have to be focused on the exit because you have a really long straight, which is really important to be quick. Use DRS and KES. Then you will arrive to another really big stop, so you will have to go down to second gear and arrive at 315 kph, so really quick. Take the inside curb, take the outside curb, and then you have a right and another series of corners who are really tricky, so you just have to be careful about your line. Going down to first gear here. You go out, now you have a really quick corner which is 240 kph, it's gonna be flat. After that you have the 2 last corners, first one which is in 5th gear, 200 kph, and the last one in 2nd gear, and then a big straight again for the first corner.
In the the section devoted to the Formula One alphabet, the Scuderia Ferrari engineers explain the meaning of the terms compound, DRS, oil and qualifying.
The name of compound is coming from the rubber has so many components in the rubber. Because, for example, tread rubber and sidewall rubber contents are basically different. That's why we call the rubber as a compound. Then basically tread rubber, including the polymer rubber and oil. It is a main ingredient. Then another things are sulfur and many ingredients in the rubber. Please think about the rubber is black. The reason why rubber is black is because rubber including the carbon black. Carbon black works for compound very strong feature. Like that, so tread is not only the rubber, for example natural rubber and synthetic rubber, and also there are so many ingredients inside. This is a very important for designing the rubber.
D is for DRS, which stands for Drag Reduction System. The DRS was introduced by the FIA in 2011 as a way of promoting overtaking in Formula One. It works very simply by allowing the rear flap to open a gap to the main plane and hence reduce the downforce and as a consequence also the drag that it creates. So very simply, by the driver pressing a button, the flap opens up like this and all the downforce that the wing is generating reduces a lot. And as the downforce reduces, so does the drag. And when the drag reduces, we can increase speeds by up to 10-15 kph. And obviously this makes overtaking a lot easier. During the race, the driver is allowed to use the DRS only when he's 1 second or less behind a car in front. And he can only use it in dedicated areas around the track where the FIA allow to use the DRS. This is during the race. During qualifying or during pre-practice, the driver can use the DRS as he wishes. And he can simply press a button and the flap opens up and he gets a speed advantage.
Oil is fundamental for the correct functioning of engine and gearbox. It has three main characteristics. The first one is to reduce the wear of the metal parts that are moving inside these two parts. The second is that it has to remove the heat coming from the contact of this part running. The third one is to reduce the friction. The first two are important for the reliability of the car, and there is a lot of job involving this because to homologate new oil, the job done at the dyno is very long. We have to use and run engines and gearbox for a long time. Then we have to disassemble them, check every part, measure, and after this long process we can homologate an oil to be used at the track. The third feature, reducing the friction, is important for the performance because reducing the friction makes the engine giving more power and so affecting also the overall result of the car. Reducing the friction is one part that is important at the moment also because according to the current regulation, engine is frozen, so we cannot redesign from year to year, while engine development is free. So our partner Shell is involved to do his best to propose new oils and so helping us to win more races.
Qualifying session is on Saturday after FP3, and normally, let's say that in Europe, normally it's at 2 o'clock. Qualifying is the one that then decide the grid order for the race. The qualifying is divided in 3 parts, Q1, Q2 and Q3. The first one is 20 minutes, the second one 15 minutes and Q3 just 10 minutes. It's divided in 3 parts because every single qualifying session means that you have always less car. So the first time you have 24 cars in the current Formula 1, and then 7 cars will be out after Q1, and then you get 17 cars for the Q2 and just the top 10 cars for the Q3. Obviously the first one will be the one on pole position the day after.
Scuderia Ferrari Racing News will be back in December with a review of the season and a special on the Valencia Finali Mondiali.